All right. Remember when I used to not do that? I used to not move it like
Yes,
that?
and you had to slither
I used
in.
to kind of slither in there.
But now you are so seasoned.
It's because I'm less flexible, actually. I just can't get away with that
and
anymore.
I think that's one of the things that the camera brought out is
How embarrassing that was.
Yeah, you have to be okay with not.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah. Okay. You tell me. You're gonna start us right with the thoughts from fatherhood to faith and figuring it all out, right?
That was the closest attempt you've ever had.
Wow, I get it wrong every week.
The intro?
Yeah. It's part of the shtick. But it's also authentic because I never...
It's not a shtick.
You don't try to remember it.
It becomes a shtick, but it's not because, like, I'm messing... Like, I'm doing it to be funny. Like, I don't remember. I really don't remember.
Welcome to the Rise podcast. Conversations around faith, fatherhood, and figuring it all out.
It's new for season 3.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We're honing it in.
Yes. Yep. To my right, we have the infamous Greg Pavic.
Thank you, Max. Yes.
And to his right, we have the illustrious Nate Joe Rock.
Yeah,
Yes.
not Nate Tuck.
Not Nate Tuck.
Short for Nate, yes.
Yes.
Short for Nate.
Although Nate is actually quite shorter than Joe.
Really?
Yeah, I mean
Well,
in
obviously,
stature.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, not in name.
I don't know.
shortening.
I don't see height.
You
So,
don't? Wow, that's great. I mean,
No.
that's probably why me and you are friends. I'm not. Okay, here's where I want to start today.
Okay.
I got burned quite badly
Mm-hmm.
by like an 85-year-old woman at a
Did she mean to?
assisted living. Yeah, very intentional.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Dave and I go bring communion to these people. Just a great, like, there's no greater group of people than faithful old people. You know, you bring them a morsel of truth and they just treat it like it's a feast. You know, like, oh, they just every ounce of every calorie in that thing they are savoring. And it just really makes you feel like, wow, this is just, truth is powerful and I'm good at what I do. You know, it's like, that's what it makes you feel like. And so today I was mostly just being Dave's understudy, to be honest. I was just soaking in how he does this situation and learning a little bit. And at the end, you know, we go and give communion and close in prayer. And then as things are kind of settling down, you know, I'm wearing shorts. And I don't think they're
As
used
you
to-
are now?
Right now,
Yeah.
same
We
shorts.
can confirm.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. And they're like, one of those old ladies like, hey, Greg. Don't even know if she knows my name. Hey, Greg. Yeah. Nice legs. And I was like, yeah, they haven't seen a lot of sun. Yeah, tell me about it. I was like, whoa, what in the world? It's like, so you're like, yeah, I just thought about them. Like, I wonder if they'll think it's okay to have like a preacher come to them with some shorts on,
Yeah.
you know?
I bet being a pastor is really similar to like when we were in crew in college and you and Andrew were the MCs and part of your role was bringing comfort to people through the announcements, whatever. And a lot of that would be self-deprecating humor.
Sure.
But the door that opened was people who didn't know you felt like they got an invitation to also make fun of
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
And it was just like, it was just weird to watch. Like,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Who are you?
Exactly. Like, oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, whatever. It's like, goes back. We were talking about Romans 15 at staff meeting today, and just kind of like how those who are strong are obligated to bear the failings of the weak or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a sense of like when you're ever put on a pedestal, any type of leadership position, there's like this burden of people that maybe don't totally get it, kind of like cutting you down at the knees. It's just like, yeah, but that's kind of what I'm here for in a way. Like it's in a weird way, it makes you feel comfortable. Like in those situations, like if it makes you feel comfortable, like you can come and burn me too, and that makes you feel like you belong or that you're in on some kind of joke. And
More
that's
power
what it,
to
that's
you.
what it
Yeah.
takes. Then
Yeah.
I'll welcome it.
And I kind of think about that. I've thought about that same thing before. And I like to think of myself that I know more about comedy than the average person. And part of that comedy, part of that next level of comedy is the self-deprecation humor, and then with people, realizing like, hey, you're making fun of yourself, giving them now the license to, and next make fun of you back.
Yeah.
When you're like, no, you can't degrade me like I degrade myself. Like that's reserved for me.
Yeah.
And now you don't get that. You just think that it's fun to make fun of me like I make fun of myself.
Yeah, exactly. That's well said.
Yeah.
Well said. So I sorry for the blinding white legs today.
I don't think they're that white.
You don't think so?
No.
They're just Caucasian.
I mean, your heritage from Europe is, remind me,
Czech.
Czech.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like you're like Swedish or Norwegian where you're
No.
just like super super white when you don't
No.
see any sunlight. You
Right.
have a little bit of brown all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like.
I see it. I'm real happy for you, Greg.
Put your arm up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking kind of blue.
I'm real blue today.
I'm Norwegian as well, so I felt like I could make that joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Self-deprecating. not-
Self-deprecating. That's beautiful.
Great.
Well
That's
done.
the next level humor right there.
So that leads me to this question.
Wait, first,
What?
can we just hear about Joe?
Sure. Joel, Nate, how are you today?
Well, good. And I just want to say that I'm super glad to be here because out of the 3 requirements, I am not a father and I don't have it all figured out. But God has given me a little bit of faith. So I think that's what snuck me onto this podcast.
I think so.
Yep.
Yep.
I serve as youth pastor, actually at Greg's old job. So I'm kind of just following him everywhere and taking over everything he's doing. So soon it'll be just me and Max here at
Yep,
the
that's
podcast,
true.
hopefully.
It will.
Yep,
Yeah,
he's
it'll be-
slipping in there.
Yep. And quite frankly, doing most of it much better than I ever did. So
Which is not true for the most part. We're just different. And then
different.
one fun thing is that I was trained by a professional ping pong player from Argentina. So
that's a good fun fact.
me and my brothers have gone real deep into the art of ping pong, and we're pretty competitive with each other.
Oh, I didn't know there was an art, but it would make sense. There's a
there
lot
is.
of arts.
Well, they actually paint the ping pong balls, and as they're having a game, there's a portrait that is so
Okay,
beautiful. It's
moving
a
on.
competitive.
So you're new to the Marshall area,
Yeah,
and you've been here for how long?
7 months.
7
Yeah.
months.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Holy
this might be my 7th month.
7th month
To the day.
over half a year.
Yeah.
regardless of how you.
Yeah.
What's your reaction? Keep in mind, this podcast has the ears of many high-ranking government officials. So
Yes. Okay.
give us the
Yep.
good, bad, and the ugly of Marshall, Minnesota.
Well, Joe, if you're out there, we have one alley in Marshall that runs through downtown. And I live actually in that alley. I park my car in that alley. And
Beautiful. That's great.
I'm not going to go into great details just for the sake of the privacy of my neighbors and everything like that. But
'Cause they'll, I'm sure they'll listen.
and they listen.
Yeah.
And when we release this in Spanish, they'll really listen. But it's kind of dangerous back there.
Is it?
And not Dave,
Nate.
Nate Joe, average Joe, Nate, over here actually speaks Spanish fluently.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, un poquito. Yo necesito mejorar mi habilidad de hablar español, pero yo puedo conversar.
He could be making it up, and we wouldn't know.
We
but
wouldn't know. But I'm
put-
glad that it's
we'll
welcoming in
translate
a
on the
new
video.
genre
Right.
of
yeah,
Brand new market.
market here.
Yeah.
Brand new market.
Yeah,
and that took second fiddle to learning ping pong from an Argentinian.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Also touches Spanish, same guy.
No, different guy.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a missed opportunity in some ways.
Super missed opportunity. I don't even know how to say ping pong in Spanish.
Wow.
It's probably
ping
just
pong.
ping
It's
pong.
ping
Yeah.
pong.
Probably.
Trust me.
So it's dangerous in that alley.
Danger when in terms of Marshall.
Yeah.
It's just there's sometimes some whack stuff happens.
Yep.
You know, my neighbor moved out in a body bag a few months ago.
That's true.
And
Neighbor
I mean,
died.
yeah,
No way.
Dead.
never learned his name. Should have. That's on me. Be a good neighbor.
Talk about missed opportunities.
Right. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even hear about that. Usually you hear about big things like that in Marshall. But
No, this was very secretive.
Yeah. Very secretive. Almost too secretive. Like I suspect myself because it's so secretive. Like, did I have a hand in that? I don't actually know. But
We talked to, well, never mind. We won't go there.
Probably best. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the Holy Spirit telling you not to say what everybody
Yep.
say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
So you're in it for the long haul, I've heard.
Yeah, I'm in.
You want to live here for the rest of your life and are hoping to own a couple real estate properties and probably take over the church, right?
Yeah, more or less. This is off the record, right?
Yeah, no one's
Don't hold me to this.
No one's listening.
Okay. Awesome. So, and did you already say where you went to school?
I went to school down at Buena Vista in Storm Lake, Iowa. Go Beavers! For all you Beaver alum that are listening to the podcast.
Which is actually, oddly enough, a very strong following down there
really,
from us.
Yeah, it's a hot pocket.
Yeah.
really,
Yeah, listeners.
guys, I'm glad you probably remember me from the 2019 national tournament run with the baseball team. I just want to say you guys are the best fans out there, and go Beavers!
Wow.
Phenomenal. Cool. So you're working with Greg and Dave and Marshall, and now you're in the 9017 studio.
I think this is the pinnacle of Marshall.
It might
I've
be.
heard this been called that before.
I've heard that.
It
The
has.
pinnacle.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely.
Yep. Rumors of war and things like that. That's been included.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, they signed.
kind of
one
like the
of
new
the-
Freemasons.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, there has
Less
been
cultish,
war,
you know.
war-ending treaties signed in
Sure,
this space.
this is the Versailles of Southwest Minnesota.
It could be said as that,
Is that a Spanish word?
Yeah.
What was your question?
My question was going back to
French
getting
word.
burned by an 85-year-old woman.
Yeah.
About my legs. What would be on? What would be a situation that would be on the gag reel of your life? Not a moment where you were sick, you were gagging.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Okay.
The two that come to mind, I should not share on this podcast. They're both from my honeymoon.
Can I share it?
No, but they were gold.
They were gold. Well, what if I shared it, but I told it as if it was happening to somebody I knew?
Well,
Yeah, like, I have a friend.
With that context, I feel like people would see right through that
No,
at this point.
they won't see that.
But there's probably others that are better. That would work.
Yeah.
Plenty. I mean,
Yeah.
plenty.
Joe, what do you got?
I mean, I can get the ball rolling.
Yeah. I mean, heck, the first month you're
I've
at
got
Living Word.
I've got a youth group one.
Just kidding.
Yeah, my
I've got a youth group one, which will lend itself nicely to then any youth group examples you might have.
Okay.
okay. I don't have a wealth of youth group examples just for the crowd.
Yes.
Greg might.
Oh yeah.
So I was a youth leader at, I won't say the name of my church in the context of this story because I don't want them to be responsible for my
Understand.
actions.
Good
But
thinking.
I was a youth leader there for 5 years, and then wasn't after that. Maybe for like 3 or 4 years after I had stopped, the current pastor who oversees youth asked me to speak one Wednesday, and it was just like 1 hour before youth group was starting. Very, very late notice. He was kind of sick, wasn't sure. And then he was like, no, I can't do it. So he called me last minute and figured I could cover it. And he told me, you can talk about anything you want, which obviously I didn't have anything ready to go. Or tonight was the night that we were going to kind of have like the purity talk. I think he used the word like kind of the sex talk.
Yep.
And so I am there with very little preparation. And I tried to word something to kind of preface the situation and how this had come together so quickly, but that it was going to be fine because I had been a youth pastor before. We've talked about this before. It's not the first time that I've discussed this. It did not come out that well. It came out more along the lines of like, we're having the sex talk tonight. I didn't get a lot of notice, but it's not a big deal because I have a lot of experience. And then I paused for like just a little bit too long, and I was like, in preaching, in preaching, because I was a youth, and I had lost the room.
It was over.
I was over.
It was over.
It was
yeah.
so over. Nobody listened to a word I said after that. I've never been more embarrassed. A lot of times I can make fun of myself, and when it's intentional, it's one thing. When it's unintentional, it's like,
Yes.
oh, this is a deep wound.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to bring this to the Lord and have this healed. And I had to text the pastor right away and be like, hey, just a heads up, like this is what happened. Listen, this is the context. Like I don't need any weird descriptions of what I was or wasn't insinuating to a group of minors. Like it just came out wrong. Came out wrong. So that'd be on there.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Yeah. So that's mine.
Joe, what do you got?
Well, along the youth ministry route, this I just put on like my comments of wall of fame, I guess, like what students have said to me that I would put on actually my wall of shame. So,
same thing, same wall.
Yeah,
Really.
same wall. It's all one wall.
I mean,
And so I been exposed to a lot of things, starting off in being a youth pastor. And I found out that I've had a lot of ground to make up on kind of the having fun aspect of it. The games, like getting people energized and doing a fun little game. So I prepared this game. I don't even remember the game it was anymore. It's really irrelevant to the story. But I'm bringing everyone together. And one of just our 9th grade boys, as they're sitting down, looks me straight in the face in front of everybody, says it loud enough for everyone to hear. Greg's games were so much better than yours. He said that right before I'm about to do this game I'm super excited about.
Speaking the truth in love. I taught him that.
And I was just like, oh man, I just feel so exposed right now. I don't even want to play this game anymore.
I don't think I've ever heard that story. That's a hilarious.
Did you snap at him? Did you say
You want to be
something mean?
fun? You want to be funny?
I'll show you funny. I have a lot of experience.
Yeah. What was your reaction?
I just had to let it roll off my back. I'm like, this is a good opportunity to let things roll off my back. So I'm like, and I just ignored him. And I went on to do my game.
Unbelievable.
Kids.
That is youth ministry wrapped up in one story.
Yeah, it is.
A bunch of numbskulls that really are totally clueless about the impact they could have in the world, positive or negative.
Yeah.
But still thinking it's all about them. I mean, it's just like I'm at youth group, and I'm going to be angry at the fact that the game isn't as fun. It's like, really, is that what it's about? It's about the game, huh? It's about how much funner the games used to. Whatever.
You know what you could have said? You could have said, you know what? I also would be rather hanging out with Greg than you right now.
Oh, could I say that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty fair game. All
Yeah.
things
I
to say.
think so.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so here's my next question. And
Wait, do you have any more?
Yeah, come on. You
Well,
can't just
there's-
not.
I mean, I feel like.
I could tell one.
I think you should tell the snowboarding one for me.
Yeah.
Because let me just preface it with, I'm not trying. This is not a statement of pride. It's just I really feel like it's like reality of
Greg's
like
athletic.
I'm pretty good at most things I try to do.
Yep.
Like I can pick things up pretty fast.
Yep.
Ping pong
Except ping pong.
is not one of them. I totally can admit that. Like I've just never been that good at ping pong. Everything else is just kind of like do it. I pick it up. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I thought because I wakeboarded, ripsticked, that snowboarding, I've always wanted to try it. I've done it in the backyard down the little hills that are 10 feet, long.
Did you make it down those?
Yeah. Really
I would not have guessed that based on what I saw.
Yeah, I go. So actually, we go to this bachelor party that Max and I are part of. I've never skied before in my life, but everyone wanted to ski. And I'm like, all right, I'll ski. And speaking to that first point, just to give myself some credit, because it's about to be, belittled
Humbling.
in a moment. Never been on skis before. Could ski. We're going down. This was this was Buck Hill, in Minneapolis. So
Skiing is for toddlers, so not much of an achievement.
yeah, but I mean, we're like they're double blacks or whatever, like going down it, within like an hour and a half of never having skis on, and it's like this is pretty fun. I know what I'm doing. Then I'm like, I go to the rental shed and like Max wants to show me how to snowboard. I'm really excited. I'm like, if I was good at skiing, I'm gonna really enjoy snowboarding. This will be fun. We'll go on some of the kind of like the pipes and stuff. That's what I'm anticipating in my head, that like I'm gonna be able to do some fun stuff.
This
that
will
I
be
can
a
do on
breeze.
skis.
From the Olympics is what you're thinking.
I'm just like, this will be kind of a fun thing, and I'll be probably better at it anyway. And I get the snowboard on, and it's like I all of a sudden traveled to another planet. Like it was like I didn't know what to do with like it was so hard. It was so hard.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go 10 feet.
Yeah.
I really couldn't.
And it was a weird experience for me because over the years I've been snowboarding for a very long, like since I was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
Probably from about 12 years old till 26, I taught at least one person a year how to snowboard. There's always be an encounter like that where someone goes with and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I'll teach you how to snowboard. Always successful.
Yeah.
You're my first failure. It was so strange. So the idea was like, and I hadn't done this with anyone that I was teaching before, but I thought, let's go to the board park at Buck Hill. Not because I'm expecting you to go down the board park, but because in general, the board park is not crazy steep for, down the side, I should say. Like you can go down the side. It's like the bunny hill pretty much.
Yeah, but I don't have to be on the bunny hill.
Lots of stuff on it, and then you don't have to be on the bunny hill. So I could do some things and teach you whatever. So we go to the board park. The downfall of that is like all the best people also go there.
But also, there's tons of 6-year-olds there too.
Well, they're some of the best.
Yeah, I mean,
just crushing it on rails
I mean,
and
it's just
pipes
like,
and
just
ripping
crazy.
out 1080.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, just insane. So we get there, and you are just not looking good. You're giving me real like Bambi on ice vibes, and somehow your feet are connected. So I don't even know how you're doing this.
No.
But just an inability to really do anything of value down
Zero.
the hill. Yeah, I mean, not even for a couple of feet. After a while,
And I wonder if it was part of this was just because like once it started going bad,
yeah,
I didn't know how to recover from that.
yep.
Because I hadn't had lots of experiences of being like, wow, I just tweaked it. You know, I've been rusty at them. Like I normally can catch on. I just was like, once it started going bad, and I'm like, I feel like everything I would know how to correct this
Yeah.
is the part of the problem. Like I'm very lost, and I didn't know how to recover.
Another
it just
reason,
got worse and worse and worse.
another reason I took you to the board park instead of the bunny hill is that the bunny hill can be really hard when everyone is trying to learn. If one of those dummies falls on the tow rope, the whole tow rope goes down, and everyone else doesn't know how to recover. So then everyone falls. It's just a mess. Trying to get up is just a mess. You go to the board park. If you're not that good and you fall, those guys are just gonna like bunny hop over you. Like they're just not.
Fine,
they're not at risk at all for falling. You're not gonna slow anyone down. And so I thought, it'd be safer to learn there. Boy, was that wrong. So we get to somehow you get down this board park eventually,
Which was filled with me either legs going out from under and hitting myself in the back
you knocked the wind out of yourself at once.
multiple times,
Yep.
and then or biting, catching the front, and then just like snapping my whole body. And so I was like scared because I've had head injuries before.
Yeah.
You know, and
I'm
so
sorry for laughing.
No, but
I can still picture it. It's
Yeah.
just so funny.
and so then I was like, I'm gonna get another concussion here.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want that.
Are you
So then I
familiar
got
with the
even more.
concept of a yard sale?
Oh yeah, I have done that before. So,
Yeah.
I am totally.
Greg's yard sale,
Oh,
like
man.
every 5 feet, his gloves are flying
Ow.
off, his hat's flying
You would
off.
think
like,
you could get enough speed in the small amount of time for me to crash as violently as I was
Yeah.
crashing.
But the best part of the story is we get to the bottom of the bottom of the board park, and there's a tow rope, which is another great thing there that you can just keep going round and round and
Yeah.
round and round, and it's a fast tow rope. And Greg grabs onto the tow rope, and at this point, he's actually doing pretty decent.
I don't know. It was very hard.
But as fate would have it, some other novice also thought it would be a good idea to go to the board park to learn how to snowboard. So
He also had an idiot teacher.
So this guy gets on right behind Greg and is not good at all. And they get like maybe 15 feet up of this 50-foot tow rope they have to ride. And this guy eats it. And he's just like getting dragged on the tow rope.
And everyone's like, let go of the tow rope.
Let go.
You're supposed to let go of it. Because it starts getting way down on the ground.
Yeah.
And
way
as
down
it's
there.
going down, because this guy's getting dragged, Greg got it behind his back, and it's just getting lower and lower and lower. And pretty soon it's like It's right behind Greg's knees, like right here.
I'm just trying so hard, just don't let go. Because if I
Yeah.
let go, I'm going to go back down to the bottom and I'm going to have to start this over. And it was hard for me to get going anyway.
So he's trying everything he can to just keep this tow rope right here. Finally, the kid takes the crowd's advice and lets go of the tow rope. And in that moment, it flies back up.
Snaps.
Just totally sweeps Greg's legs. And it pushes him into the untouched powder that is in between the tow rope that goes around that nobody ever goes in. This powder is like 8 feet deep and the softest powder you have ever seen.
I got this hell stick strapped to my legs.
And Greg is on his back and he can't put his hand down because it just goes into nothing. So he can't get up. And for like, I don't know, probably it was shorter, but it felt like at least 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Every cool snowboarder in the world is going by on this tow rope like, dude, you good? Hey, you good? Hey, you all right? Dude, you good? And Greg's like just humiliated. Like,
It's so
yep,
crushed.
I'm fine. Yep. No, it's okay.
I'm
good.
We're like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Max! No, yeah, no problem. No, thanks, guys. You're cool. You'll enjoy your time. Enjoy your Max! And they were so, I didn't realize how supportive the snowboard culture was.
So
Like,
kind.
was like the kindest people I've ever met. I just swear.
Don't worry, they're making funny at the top.
Yeah, they just would come by like, oh, dude, whatever. They're just so like,
Oh yeah,
wow.
That. I really think I like to think that the Lord got a chuckle out of that one.
I'd hope so. It was very humbling. Very humbling. So then we go back down to the rental shed and I'm just like, I'm switching back to skis. And they're like, oh, we don't really switch back. Actually, you can switch once. And I'm like, no. Like, you don't understand. I'm here for another like 4 hours. And I gotta have my skis back. Please. And I think they were like, all right, we'll give you some skis back. So I got to ski the remainder of the time.
Yeah.
But
The only other time
I was pretty shook.
The only time that's happened is a couple of years ago. I tried to teach my mom and my dad how to snowboard, and I wouldn't say they're getting up there.
Mm-hmm.
You might say that.
I wouldn't say
Objectively,
that. Especially
someone might
about your
say it.
mom. Me and her are tight.
I know you are. I wouldn't say that, but they're not young chickens anymore. And we got there maybe 15 minutes after they strapped their snowboard on. They both fall hard, like catch an edge and eat it.
That's what they called, catching an edge.
Yeah,
That's what I was
You
doing.
did that a lot.
Yes, catching an edge.
My mom instantly is like, I'm getting skis. My dad instantly is like, I'm going to the chalet. He just was done. He just
I don't want skis or nothing.
later I found out he knocked the wind out of himself so hard. He had such a pounding headache. He was like, I'm just done. In one fall, 15 minutes into going.
no.
Yeah,
man.
so you weren't my only failure,
That's
but
good to hear, kind of.
Man.
Well, that might be, I mean, maybe that's enough for this week. I was going to ask that coming out shortly here is going to be on HBO Max is going to be this Friends reunion
Oh yeah.
that is highly anticipated.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
And it just made me think about, what seasons of your life do you wish you could kind of have a reunion with those people with and reminisce those times, get back together with the friends of a season and then just kind of, tell stories and be in that same group of people as, not just the maybe 2 or 3 buddies, but like the friend group as a whole, even the ones that were maybe kind of floated on the edges. But maybe we could say that to next time too, we're 35 minutes in.
Nah, we teased it. We got to talk about it now.
Okay. Well, what do you got? Anything?
You go first.
Yeah, so I got to actually live this out 2 weeks ago. It's amazing how uncanny this question is coming. So I graduated from college last spring. Okay. And what had happened is there's this new phenomena which was like called COVID-19. What happens was, whatever that is, right? Does that even exist anymore? So anyway.
Vaccination is eliminated it, I've heard.
I've heard.
Totally been.
Yeah. But so we all left for spring break expecting to come back after spring break, but we never did. Never went back to school.
Unbelievable.
Never got to be around.
The season was canceled.
Yeah,
If you were a sitcom,
exactly.
tying it back into the start of the question.
I mean, the Friends final season was canceled halfway through,
Yes.
like right before the finale.
Yeah.
Where we were
It
gonna.
was finally getting good.
It was finally getting good. I
Yeah.
mean, we had 2.5 strong months left of just being buddies, and before we had to say goodbye. Well, anyway, long story short, as everybody knows, the world shut down for,
We got
a
it.
whole year.
Absolutely.
And you were there in the world. And then last 2 weekends ago, finally got the opportunity to go back to school, and we walked at graduation again. And walking is whatever special for my mom, but what was special for me was seeing all my roommates again and my friends of my roommates and all that, and the whole band was back together. And I just remember, actually, Greg had just shown me this song from Jason Isbell called "If We Were Vampires."
Vampires.
Yeah.
So I was kind of.
Thank you, Max.
So is that from Max? Do I owe
No,
it to
but
Max?
but Max knew it. He remembered something I
Yeah.
told him, and that meant a lot to me.
And I'm not that emotional. But on
Most emotional people I know always say that.
Yeah, I know. Totally.
I'm really emotional, and I just remember one of the it's Saturday morning. We're all my friends are here at my house. We're just gonna spend the day together, and I'm up early, spend some time in the Word. And that song is playing over and over in my head, just about how because things are temporary, that's what makes them beautiful and precious.
Right?
And I just start bawling.
Really?
Just sitting there reading my Bible, thinking about that song and the sweet moment that I have in this moment that I may not ever get again.
That's good.
This reunion.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it was a special moment
That's cool.
that God gave me. I mean, it was just precious.
Totally. I think one of my favorite lines from any sitcom is Andy Bernard at the end of The Office when he kind of says, I wish that somebody could tell you that you were in the good old days. I'm butchering it a little, but
When you're in them.
when you're in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of that moment when you realize like there's going to be, in a decade, you're going to realize like, wow, that was a gift. And it's cool that you knew it in the moment because most of the time we don't,
Right.
But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's really
so that'd be mine.
Yeah.
Max, anything?
Mine would probably, it wouldn't be high school because I don't give a lick about that. There are people I'm still in touch with from high school. I love
Yeah.
those guys. And
You talk about them tons. So
I do see them.
I know that
and
you love
they're
them
awesome.
tons.
We went camping last year.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about like the setup you gave, like the extended people and the extended
yeah.
people. Don't care. If I haven't talked to you,
Yeah.
don't need to go back. Shuttle Wiper Lake, woohoo, go Bears.
You're from White Bear Lake?
Yeah.
I went to Montemita.
Zephyr? A Zephyr
Yeah.
is in the
I'm
studio?
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Did you
I
know?
you didn't tell me you went to White Bear
Guys, I'm
Lake.
so sorry.
Did you know?
That's the
Is
armpit of
isn't
Minnesota.
Montemita like mean White Bear Lake?
I mean, maybe.
I'd heard that rumor.
I think it's just a rumor.
That's it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Lots of rumors. Anyway, but yeah, high school is, I don't know. Maybe I'd go back to parts of it. There are parts
Sure.
that were like hanging out with
Yep.
friends that were just awesome. Maybe going to Nate and Josh's house and just play Smash Bros for 16 hours straight and drink way too much Mountain Dew. That'd be fun. Seeing Jangles and Seth and Kevin and all those guys. I'm going to get in trouble if I just say all their names and forget
Yeah.
like one or two.
I
But
understand. Yep.
college,
Yep.
I would go back to parts of college.
Yeah.
Especially living like at the 419, 417 setup.
Yeah.
I wish that we weren't as busy as we were,
Yeah.
especially like you and James. You guys were so busy.
Yeah.
Who else was pretty busy? Not Andrew and I.
No, not those two.
I worked every day. I worked every day of
Well,
college, and
I
I
know.
still felt less busy than you.
I don't. It was kind of
Yeah.
a blur.
Do you ever regret those things that maybe in hindsight, I don't want to say they don't matter, but like it wouldn't have made a difference to today necessarily? Maybe it would have, but you wouldn't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess in a way it's like I wish I had time, but I feel like we soaked up our time together pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that was maybe from my perspective because like I felt like I was never missing me,
Yeah.
You know, like when I wanted to hang out,
Yep.
people were available to hang out. And so that was just, we hung out and it was super fun. Maybe I don't realize the opportunities I missed, you know, because of being busy or whatever. But yeah. But yeah, that's who you're thinking of, kind of that.
And there are certain nights, even before I was a Christian, that I would go back to with that group of friends that were just like really memorable, good, fun nights of like, you know, listening to music or playing video games or whatever else.
Yeah.
Like there's certain nights I can remember as like highlights that like, yeah, I'd go back to that. Like, you know, meeting people at a bar and just like chatting for hours, you know, stuff like that. Yeah.
No, that's really cool. Yeah, it'd be fun to. I agree. I don't remember. I have a very bad memory, so if somebody jaunts my memory, then I will like.
Jogs your memory?
Can you say jaunts? I've heard that
I'd go
before.
with jog.
Okay, jog it is. If somebody jogs,
Breaking the English language here.
yeah, somebody jogs my memory. Wow.
Jaunt
Okay.
down memory lane.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, anyway, if that happens, I get a flood of every detail of that story. Then it like I can picture the whole thing as if I'm like standing in the.
Rain Man.
But
Kind
I
of like
can't.
Google in that way.
Maybe.
You know, it's like, give me some keywords and I'll give you everything.
Yeah,
you know?
right. but I can't recall. Just like Google.
Yep.
I mean, you need to have something prompt in it. The search button has to be hit. So yeah, I do it like high school. I have like 10 stories I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
But when I've gotten together with some of my high school friends, they start telling stories that are hilarious that I was a part of in a very significant way. And I just, until that moment, they just as well didn't exist.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to write those down, but yeah, going down to college. And so I had some of my high school friends with me in college, which was kind of fun. I'd just love to get back with those groups of people now and just see how they're doing and see where they've gone, but also just to chat about stories and, you know, whatever. I mean, it's just like the amount of time that was also wasted, you know what I mean? Like playing Halo and doing the stupidest stuff.
Not a waste.
Was so fun.
It was good.
Yeah, I mean, like not wasted, but just so fun.
One of the nights that really sneaks up on you in terms of being like a reunion that's super special, at least for me it was my wedding day. When you get to your reception and everyone you've ever cared about is in one room. It's almost like weird, especially because like the age that I got married, it was, you know, still close enough with my friends from high school that their parents made the trip down.
Of course.
So it was like parents that had kind of helped like raise me at times. Some of them I lived with for like, you know, a week or two. If my mom was, I think there was one time she had to go away for a week or whatever. My cousin was in the hospital. Like really impactful people. It's weird to see them in the context of like you and like college friends and, you know, some of your families came and and then like your aunts and uncles and everyone you care about. It's like a reunion episode.
Yeah, it is.
All in
that's
one.
A good point.
And I love talking and connecting with people. I love dancing. I think I danced two songs, one with Rachel and one with my mom, the mother son, and the rest of the time I was talking with people that I hadn't seen in years until we left. So
that's so cool.
Yeah,
there's a lot of power in the present kind of, and there will be like for the seasons of life you're in now, like there'll be moments in the future that you're going to be wishing you were back at this time too, you know, and it's just hard to remember that because life goes so stinking quick. You know? But
that was a great ending. I hope we did that.
Good.
It's fun to reminisce.
Yeah, it is.
You guys basically have the same color shirt on underneath your pullover.
Wow.
If you didn't know that. So
take it off.
Yeah.
If you want.
Great minds think alike. No.
Okay.
Keep your shirt
He
on.
really is following your footsteps. He just needs to pull over when he's, you know, good and ready and worthy, and then he'd be this exact same
Wearing
outfit.
tan shorts.
And look at how white his legs are.
Look
Yeah.
at these bad.
He must be Swedish.
Yes, I'm like full Scandinavian.
Yeah,
Norway, Sweden, Denmark.
knew it.
Yeah.
Could sense our
Takes one to know one.
kindred spirits.
Don't mention the hometown.
My heart has my heart not been burning within me while I've been talking to you here, Max.
Well, on that
guy.
note, till next time.
Thanks. the Rise podcast. Yeah. Fade to music.
You guys need a song. Didn't you have a song?
Oh,
We have a song.
yeah.
Some good songs. Songs for days.
We got songs. We haven't even listened.
It's not bad. I don't really know what I'm doing, so
No,
that was me.
No,
Just,
I mean,
like,
but it was
guessing.
good, right? I mean, it turned out good
Yeah,
from what you were doing.
I don't know. Calvin just kind of tore it apart.
Calvin just rebuilt the house that Maxx built.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
He burned it down and peed out in the ashes. Maybe that's